much time as I want, so I wrote a speech. Blame him. I'll help you get that recall if you really want it.
Hey, I got cake. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm Jason Briscoe. I'm running for the 102nd District State House of Representatives. I've been making the rounds to all the townships. I haven't made it to all of you yet because a lot of you have your meetings on the same day at the exact same time. So it's going to take me all summer to get to see everybody. Gentleman reminded me that I need to not simply speak about the negative things that got me into politics. I've been trying to run a positive campaign since I got into this, rather than just focusing on the doom and gloom. It's an easy trap to fall into, but talking about everything that's wrong, because let's face it, there's a lot to complain about. My message at the door has been focusing on things that we can do to make Michigan better. I think that is a large part of why I've been very well received at people's doors. People all know what's wrong. We just disagree on how to fix it. Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, they're all doing well because voters on both sides of the aisle know that politics has gotten too corrupt and our government is no longer working for us. They don't have our best interests at heart. These gentlemen have very different solutions, but they have the same message. America is sick because the average citizen is no longer represented in their government. The political parties have abandoned us as well. And these candidates aren't wrong. Parties are so bogged down right now in fighting with each other in partisan politics that they've forgotten the purpose, and that is to advance the ideals and principles of the voters they represent. Now, I'm running as a Republican, so I need to take some ownership here. We Republicans no longer offer a vision of what America can and should be. That is what sets these outside presidential candidates apart. They are motivating citizens with an image of where they want to take us, and all of them are promising to reorient their parties to focus on the average citizen. And that's just it right there, a party that is more focused on what it has to offer rather than stomping the opposition. I keep being told that because I'm a Republican, I have to vote for the eventual nominee. No, I don't. Give me something that's worthwhile to vote for and I will consider it. The automatic reply I keep getting isn't that tell me why Republicans are worth voting for. I just get threatened with Hillary. That's not working so well these days because to a lot of voters, unfortunately, Republican and Democrat titles, it's a distinction without a difference. Nobody can tell. Neither one of them is trying to inspire us. They're trying to scare us. And so we see the traditional establishment candidates failing. And the ones who are turning out record numbers, the ones who are getting the new voters to actually show up and vote, are the ones who are promising a vision or giving us a destination, a place they want to take us. I have all this build up so I can ask a simple question. Where are we going? Specifically, where are we going as a state? I can tell you where I want to take us. I want to make Michigan the best state in the union to raise our families. We do it with a smaller government. We get out of the way of small business. We create our own standards of education that fit Michigan. At the same time, we do our best to keep bureaucrats out of the classroom so our teachers can do what they do best. And then we have our values and our principles of life and liberty reflected in our laws. I was born a military brat and I eventually became a Marine myself. I've lived in a lot of different places. I can live anywhere in the country that I want to. I live here for a reason. Michigan is one of the best places to raise a family. I love the landscape. I love the people. I actually love the attitude. We all know Michigan has an attitude. And I like 3 of the seasons. We do need a better job economy. I've been forced out of Michigan twice already because of jobs. I don't want to be forced out again. We need a less intrusive and more responsive government. And we need to stand for our moral standards. I hear a lot of people talking about how to keep Michigan from getting any worse. Be sure there's plenty of bad ideas out there to be fought. Boys and girls bathroom, gas tax increases, Common Core, persecution of Christian business owners, what to do about marriage. That list's never going to end. We need to stop jumping from crisis to crisis, and we need to focus on how to make things better. We need to focus on the direction that we want to take Michigan. So let's talk about how to make Michigan better. Step 1, fight for life. Morality is the cornerstone of a safe and prosperous society. Killing children is wrong. We all know it. This country has allowed a panel of 9 unelected men to condemn 60 million children to death, and in so doing, we have condemned ourselves. I'm watching as other states around the country choose to stand up and fight for life right now, and Michigan should be one of them. We have a Republican Senate, we have a Republican House, we have a Republican governor. There's no reason we can't be leading this fight instead of just watching. Step 2, Michigan should have a part-time legislature. I'm running to put myself out of a job, or at least most of the job. Michigan is one of only 4 states who do politics full-time. California and New York are 2 of the others, and that's just not good company to be in my opinion. Making our representatives part-time politicians rather than full-time politicians will drastically change their perspectives. Having our senators and representatives live and work in district doing the same things we do, experiencing the same joys, the same hardships we do, will change the way they vote. We passed term limits here in Michigan because we knew that being around the corrupting influences of politics and power for too long was corrupting. We should do the same thing with a part-time legislature. Bring our representatives home. The way to make this work best, we take the concentration out of Lansing, concentration of power, and spread it out to the local levels, the counties, the townships, the municipalities. Wherever possible, we run government at a more local level. This would also mean that the money needs to stay local too. It doesn't stay up at the state level. By doing this, not only do we lessen the problem of the state being run by unelected bureaucrats, but we also make it so that citizens can reach their government. One of our most basic rights here in America is the right to petition our government for grievances. But how easy is that to do at a state and federal level? Next, we stop trying to have the government raise our kids. Let parents raise their own kids. I can tell you that the biggest draw to move my family here was the freedom to raise my kids as I saw fit, to instill my Christian values. We cannot afford to lose this basic liberty, as is happening in other states, and is the reason why I do not live in other states. I'm running so that I can help Michigan take a stand, and in so doing, stand out. We need to protect religious liberties of the business owners. We need to protect our children, the unborn from death and the born from progressive idealism that leads to gender confusion and men sharing a shower room with our daughters. I'm also going to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about me. I'm a Marine, as I stated earlier. I joined when I was 25, shortly after my daughter was born, because I wanted to set the right example for her. My wife and I adopted our second daughter while we were still stationed in North Carolina. I'm a very proud father to say that she's been overcoming her disabilities. She can now get around, she can actually communicate. We're in the process of adopting 2 more, so eventually I look forward to having a family of 6 with 2 daughters and 2 boys. It actually works out pretty well because I needed to have some older brothers for when my eldest daughter starts dating. Keeps me out of jail. My younger daughter, she isn't gonna have the cognitive age to date until she's 40, so dads can always find that silver lining in there somewhere. Every father's dream, a daughter who can't date till she's halfway through adulthood. My wife and I have been married 13 years. We've been foster parents. We've hosted a little girl from Mongolia who came here as a mission program to get her some medical treatment for her disabilities. I've done a lot of advocating in Lansing. I've gotten to know quite a few of the representatives down there, as well as volunteered on various elections for both Republican and independent candidates. I've spent a bit of time up here knocking the parties, including my own. It may lead some of you to wonder why I'm running as a Republican. Frankly, I'm not quite ready to give up on the party of Lincoln just yet. Republicans have a proud history of fighting the difficult battles and being vindicated by history. It is Republicans who fought slavery, Republicans who fought Jim Crow, Republicans who gave African Americans and women the right to vote. The party has stumbled a bit lately, but that's not a problem with the average citizen. That's a problem with our leadership. Republicans are still the ones fighting on the correct side of morality by choosing to fight for life. And yet it is a difficult fight, but slavery and voting rights were not won overnight. They were won through bitter and divisive political battles, and even a war. But they all have one thing in common: they were won, and we will win this battle for the rights of another group of oppressed people as well. And once again, looking back, history is going to vindicate our efforts. Republicans have fought through generations to make this the freest nation on earth, where every citizen can enjoy the safety and prosperity that comes from a nation of moral people seeking God's wisdom and recognizing his blessings. What I tell people at the door is I'm the candidate looking to cause the most trouble in Lansing. Not because I'm an agitator, but because standing against the tide of power in politics is not going to be accepted. But the status quo isn't working for any of us anymore, for either party. It's time for Republicans to stop focusing on kicking Democrats and start focusing on the voters. As odd as it sounds, I don't expect my attitude to be welcomed in Lansing, which is why I aim to misbehave when I get there. Again, I'm Jason Briscoe. I'm offering to be your state representative. If you like the things I've had to say, I ask you to vote for me. If you don't like what I've had to say, don't vote for me. Because I will actually do these things. I will fight relentlessly for these things, and I will find a way to accomplish my goals. I'm a Marine, and fighting is what I'm good at. Thank you.